Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jack Dee.
Thank you very much. Good. Thank you. How are you? God, well, what a great audience. It's good you got in without having to buy a big issue for one of those losers outside, which is great, you know. Yeah, big issue, fuck off. It's the kind of place, Hammersmith, you drive into Hammersmith, I always get what I call Hammersmith elbow, you know, you're just driving, you go, Nothing personal. Yeah. I found the best place to park whenever I come to Hammersmith as well. Buckinghamshire. So you're a great audience. How you doing all up there? You okay? Because I know you're all from the Peabody estate out the back here. You're rough guys, you know, I know you are. You're looking at things to steal and stuff. I always wonder how, if it's free tickets, you end up with the cheap seats anyway. Are they even freer than the free tickets down the front? You've been around the Peabody estate out the back. It's kind of odd. It's a weird... Is there anyone who lives in the Peabody estate who doesn't have a kitchen appliance in their front garden? I took a wrong turn. I swear to God, there was this one guy, he had a double bed in the front garden. What is so big and important that the bed has to go from the house? What have you got in there instead? Well, you got the car in there. I can polish it all night now. I'm happy with that. It's a good laugh, that. Oh, it's an atmosphere out there. You want to be careful driving around. You've got kids out in the street playing frisbee, you know, with roof tiles. Ugly kids. I'm sorry to say, they were ugly kids. You got ugly, fat kids. They were very fat. I've never seen so many fat kids in my life. I rang Jamie Oliver. He said, tell me about it. Peabody Estate, I can't help them. I sent them a dinner lady. They had her as well. I saw this one kid, he's coming bouncing down a street on a space hopper. Turned out it was his arse hanging out of his trousers. I was like, I was being stared at the whole time I was there, like I was a novelty or something. I was a novelty, because I was in a car that wasn't in a car chase. They couldn't believe it. Police stopped me, asked me for my license. I said, what have I done? He said, nothing, I just haven't seen one for so long. By the way, listen, a little bit of administration here about what's going on this evening. In the unlikely event that there's going to be a fire, obviously, you're all fucked. You can't get out in time. Can I just say, be careful of this crane down here. If that swings around over you, please mind your head. The guy operating it, there's a guy down there, he's fucking rubbish. He can't do it. He's no good at it. And Wayne Rooney was in last night and hit his head very badly on it, and quite a lot of damage was done to the crane. So can you just... Poor old Wayne. Isn't he lovely? He just had his family history done. They've traced him all the way back to Whipsnade. And I've been touring around all year. I've had a great year of it, actually. I've been touring around. I bought this satellite navigation system for the car. You know, one of these ones that talks, tells you which way to turn and stuff like that. It's great around London. It starts taking the piss as soon as you're in the countryside. It does. Just do left ear if you wouldn't mind, please, Jack. I want to drop in on old Ted. He's not been feeling so clever since last winter tide. I baked him a cake. Anyone from Birmingham here? I don't know. Yeah, great. I did 4 nights in Birmingham, and you decided to come see me in London. That's how clever you are. What do you... The fact I learned about Birmingham, it's interesting, true. This is a true fact. Birmingham now has more canals than Venice, isn't that right? It is, it's true. Yeah, the people of Venice are shitting themselves. What are we going to do? All the tourists are going to go to Birmingham now. No, they dredged all the canals in the middle of Birmingham, not actually as a tourist attraction. They just needed all the buggies for the single mums who live there. Sorry, have I offended anyway? Sorry. You single mum? Do you want to be one? No, they did. They've got all these canals in the middle of Birmingham. And they've got a gondola now. They've got a gondola in the middle of Birmingham. It's a lovely romantic trip to do that, isn't it? Gliding through Birmingham with your hand in the rat shit. Oh, thank you for bringing my hair. They got the guy with the hat and everything, the boater, he's just going... Just one cure in that show. Give it to me. And well, Birmingham obviously saw the London Eye because they've now got this Ferris wheel that they rented in from Paris. It's about this big, it's rubbish, it's in the middle of Birmingham. And they didn't change the tapes over from when it was in Paris. So everyone was going around listening to the French guided tour. And on your left, the Eiffel Tower. There's all these Brummies going around going, well, I can't see it. Might be on a clear day. What's a clear day? It's good to be. I mean, touring around, don't get me wrong, I love being back down in the south, to be honest, you know. I mean, up north is good, it's fine, it's okay, you know. I mean, Leeds is quite posh. Anyone from Leeds? Yeah, it's good. They've got, Leeds is good. They got Harvey Nichols in Leeds, haven't they? It's true. Not actually the same as the one in Knightsbridge, which, as far as I remember, doesn't have a tin bath department. 4th floor cloth caps and whippets. I don't think so, pal. You know, to be honest, Yorkshire's all right, but the people drive you nuts. They don't know how to ram it down your throat when you're there. Oh, it's Yorkshire this and Yorkshire that, and we got Yorkshire tea and Yorkshire pudding. Can I have a cup of tea? Would you like a Yorkshire biscuit? Oh, shut the fuck up. I arrived at this hotel just outside York, and the old guy's taking me to my room. He's got my luggage. He says, oh, have you come far? I was just driven up from London. He said, you drove out, I've walked it, you soft southern twat. You know, I don't need that. Well, what about the Olympics then? Good. Any French in tonight? I loved it. What a great, you know, I almost burst into tears. I can't believe it. We actually fucking won something. It's great. I was watching it on television, and of course, you know, they had the cameras live in Trafalgar Square. Everyone, I don't want to see that. I want to go live to Paris. I want to see the action. I heard the report that as soon as they heard they hadn't won it, then the heavens opened and it bucketed down with rain on top of them. So it was great. And they had a brass band all ready to play the Marseillaise. All of a sudden, for some reason, no one understands why, they started doing a medley of James Bond themes. What was that? Dr. No. Ha, you French bastards. And, you know, the best thing about it is, you know, at last, Stratford East will get that so desperately needed velodrome. How have they survived all these years without a velodrome? That's great news, and it's great news for everyone. It's great news for business, commerce. Ron Seal is celebrating because Sue Barker's going to need more makeup. The plans are fantastic. I've seen them on the internet. They are incredible, the plans for the London Olympics. They've got beach volleyball in the Strand. They've got all the equestrian events in Hyde Park. In fact, Hammersmith is involved. Oh yeah, they're bringing all the dressage horses here to shit. I love sport. I would love to invent a sport, because all these sports had to be invented. I love the guy who thought up pole vaulting. What a genius. No, leave me. I've got an idea. This is going to work. You watch this. The only sportsmen you never see out and about, the pole vaulting. You never see them arriving off the coach with a big, long Adidas bag, do you? Where do we go? High jump. What fun, landing on the bouncy castle. We never had a chance to try that at school, did we? Jesus Christ. Oh, of course I'll land on my back, sir. Do the Fosbury flop. Land on my back on the coconut matting. Land on my back on the matting made of the famously soft and fluffy coconut. But you know what? This is a true fact for the Olympics this time round. They've had to make the javelin heavier because people are getting so good at throwing it. They're worried it's going to end up in the crowd. Could have moved the crowd back, I agree. Apparently this wasn't thought of. I think it's kind of unfair on the athlete who's trained for 4 years to get himself to the Olympics. Congratulations, welcome. Here's your javelin. I can't even lift that fucking thing! But it made me wonder, who books tickets to sit right at the end of the javelin field? These are people we can do without, surely. Now, I want to be right at the very end so I can see the spears coming towards me. Let's hope there's no mix-up on the day and they issue the lightweight javelins by mistake. Oh yes, this is looking like a very good throw indeed. Oh, I say, it's looking like a... I'd love to invent a sport. Shot put. Let's give the ugliest athletes the campus thing to do. Might throw it, might not. Oh, what the heck, here goes. So, been on a tour this year, and I've been living in hotels since January. It's just driving me nuts. Why can't they just standardize the inside of hotels so we all know where we are all the time? Even if it was just the shower, for Christ's sake. You know, they have to have a different shower wherever you go. You go to one, you turn it on, there's no water pressure, it's a little dribble. It's like being urinated on from above. You can hardly get wet under it. It's horrible. Then you go on to the next hotel, not that I would know what it's like to be urinated on from above. A couple of guys in the Peabody estate say, you will in a minute, mate. Then you go off to the next hotel and it's the surprise power shower. They haven't told you. You just turn it on. It's like the riot police are coming to your bathroom. Or you go somewhere and it's soft water. You know, it's without anyone. It is hard water, is it? Right around here, is it hard water? Yeah. Yeah, everything's hard around here, Jack. Our water is so hard. Our water's so hard it comes out of the tap wearing a tracksuit. You ever done it? You go to a shower, you didn't know it was soft water? That's a great idea, isn't it? You cover yourself in shower gel, you can't get it off for 3 weeks. You enjoyed your stay. Well, what do you think? I look like a fucking channel swimmer now, don't I? And language changes as you travel around, doesn't it? You know, when you travel around, we use the language differently in different places. You know this expression, what'll it be? We say to each other, what'll it be? We say this all the time. And I go over to Ireland to do some gigs, and the receptionist at the hotel, she says, would you like a paper in the morning? So I tell her what paper. And then she says, if we can't get that for you, what'll it be? I go, it'll be a disappointment. What? Get over it. Forget the paper. It doesn't matter. Little notes. So it is a lonely existence as well. They don't want to talk to you in hotels. They just want to put little notes all around the place for you to read, telling you what you can do, what you can't do, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. You know, one hotel I stayed in, how pretentious is this? I go into the bathroom, pile of towels, little card on top of the pile of towels. You know what it said? It goes, for the sake of planet Earth, please ensure these towels last as long as possible during your stay. I was reading, I thought, oh my God, if planet Earth is at risk, I'll go one better. I'll take them home with me. That way they'll last forever. And Earth shall be saved. I've actually taken to writing back to the little notes around the hotel room. It seems only polite after all. Just, yeah, if you'd like to purchase one of these bathrobes, please ask at reception. I wrote back, if you'd like to sell these bathrobes, don't leave a free one in the bedroom. Because I like my freebies. It's mine. I've paid to stay in the room. I'm taking what's mine. I like the little shower caps and the sewing kits. Curtains, all that. It's mine. My house is actually themed room by room. I got the Trust House Forte room, the Marriott room, the Travel Lodge room. Obviously that's just a toilet. You ever stayed at one of these places, one of these hotels attached to a motorway service station? I don't know why anyone would stay there unless they're having illicit sex or they're just going there to commit suicide. Why else would you end up in one of these hotels? Would you like a wake-up call? Well, you're going to have a job. I'm going to top myself when I get in the room. I love the motorway service station. Isn't that great? That's a whole industry that has just blossomed from the fact that someone once upon a time was in their car and needed a shit. And now we have this multinational business. And they do take it seriously. That's why you have those little signs, those little things, those charts they have to sign in the toilet every half hour. Some poor bloody school leaver on £1.90 a week going in there, taking it seriously. I swear by Almighty God, these toilets is clean. Sign Kevin. That's him on his first day, 3 weeks down the line. He's a little bit more blasé about it. Yeah, well, there's a dead junkie in 4, floater in 2, but apart from that. So I've been travelling around. I've been trying to learn a little fact about everywhere I go in Britain. And, you know, for instance, I mean, the fact I learned about Scunthorpe is I don't like it. I don't like it or the car park it's twinned with. Oh, then I'm in Hereford. What do I find out about Hereford? This is the fact I learned about Hereford. Do you know what's based there? The SAS are based in Hereford, along with like 17,500 other guys who claim to be in the SAS. Everyone you meet in Hereford. Oh yes, I'm in the SAS, me. Can't say that much more about it. Is that a fact? Well, they're recruiting 24-stone lard arses now, are they? What's your speciality? A roadblock, are you? What do you do, burst into the room and sit on people? But then I met a real SAS guy in this pub in Hereford, only that tall, short little guy, Scottish guy, quite scary, quite weird, you know, and he's telling me how he can kill people with a box of matches and stuff, you know? What are you meant to say to that in a conversation? Oh, well done, good. I never got further than candles and cigarettes myself, but yeah. But then he's talking to me, and then suddenly he's got this twitch, he does this. Have you ever talked to someone and they got a twitch? Suddenly they do this, they've got a twitch. You think, oh my God. Now I've got to keep listening and ignore the twitch. The stakes of this conversation have gone up just now. It's like trying to rub your stomach and pat your head at the same time. He's telling me about these past missions he's been on. I say, yeah, Missy Jack, that was me and my pal Mac. Come down on the rope and through a second floor and through a window, tap, tap, did, finished, job done. We home. I was down through a window, tap, tap, tap your head, tap your chest. I'm through a window, Jack, down on the road, I'm through the window, second floor. Double tap, all right, I understand, you shot him, it's fine. But then he starts warning me, never come up behind him, because he's so highly trained, he's so strung up. Never come up behind him because his instincts are so, see my pal, he's got a scar down his face, he come up behind me, I have a teacup in my hand, can I help myself, Jack? He come up behind me, I'm sure we'll train, can I just, without thinking, I stuck it in his face for him. Yeah, come up behind me, Jack. See my nan. She's got a hole in her neck there. She's got behind me, Jack. I have a pencil in my hand, doing a crossword, can I help myself? My nan come up behind me, stuck her in her fucking neck. Never come up behind me, Jack. Okay. Easy, guy, easy. I thought I've got to get away from this nutcase. So I leave, I'll go to the next bar on, and I'm leaving this pub, and this guy, as I'm coming in, this guy with a sombrero, and you know, he's selling the flowers from pub to pub, you know, this guy, flower for the lady! Flower for the, no thanks, I'm on my own. And I tell you what though, you see that Scottish guy by the bar? You tap him on the shoulder, I think you'll make a sale. I feel pretty bad about it now because I later learned it took them 3 days to get all the peanuts out of his face. So. The election was great, wasn't it? That was such a tiebreaker. No one knew which way that was going to go. That was a kind of, I was up all night. I would have voted Liberal Democrat, but I couldn't understand a single word that Charles Kennedy was saying. He just go, yeah, well, basically, we for Liberal Democrat, and probably my life has had a baby. I'd have voted Labour, but I really, really hate poor people. I'd have voted Conservative, but I'm not that big a cunt, so I didn't know where to go. But what I wanted them to do is have a little chimney on top of Downing Street, like we did with the Pope. I thought that was a fun thing to do. That was a bit of it, maybe have a little whistle on top, boop, boop, when it, you know. Because that was great. The papal election, now that was exciting, wasn't it? I can't remember the last one. I knew it was going to be the German guy because I spotted a towel on the balcony right away. I saw we had the royal wedding, of course. Don't we? Oh, weren't you proud? Well, don't we do that stuff well? All the pomp and ceremony of a registry office. It was great. I was in Wales when the wedding went on. Going on in Wales about all the wedding rings for the royal family are made from this one nugget of gold they have in Wales. Apparently this is true. Princess Diana's wedding ring was made from it, and Princess Anne's first wedding ring, Fergie's wedding ring. What is this, a lucky nugget or something they got there? If I've been Prince Charles, I think I've been on the phone. You know what? I think I'm going to shop around for some gold this time. Thanks anyway, Taff. That's a tough gig. Prince Charles, great guy, tough job, because his job is waiting for his mum to die. Not that much fun when you think about it. Hello, mother. How are you? I'm fine. Oh, shit. Maybe wonder, do you think he goes around Balmoral turning radiators down and stuff? Opening windows. It's cold in here. No, it's not, mother. It's always like this. Listen, you don't have to heckle me or anything like that, because you can text me. You saw the number as you came through. Text me during the show if you want. At the end, we'll have a look at some of those as well. And it's just... You know what? It feels great to be British in a moment. I don't know, maybe it's the Olympic thing. It's just a kind of optimism, isn't there? I've been feeling it all year. I felt, right, you know what it is when it started? Dame Ellen MacArthur, when she went around the world. Wasn't that fantastic? She'd come around in her boat. And I found that. I was watching that. She's coming back in that. I saw that boat. I thought that boat has to be the first thing ever with B&Q written down the sides. Actually worked. I actually found it very moving. She came, there's 8,000 people there to greet her back in Falmouth. Personally, I felt she could have made a bit of an effort. Put a dress on or something, but she wasn't. And she's one of these heroes who just came out of nowhere, isn't she? Because I didn't know anything about her until she did that. I don't know if she married or what. I hope she's not married. I mean, for her sake. Imagine the dishes she would have come home to. And home, where you been? I've been around the world in my boat. You took your time. And I don't know if she did, but once she was out to sea, I wouldn't have blamed her if she did, once in a while. You know what I'm saying? You would, you're on your own all that time. You would eventually, wouldn't you? I know I would, I'm not holding it against her. You know what I'm saying? You're out to sea, there's no one watching anymore, you're on your own. The fanfare's over, there are no ships in sight. What's to stop you? I don't know what you think I was talking about just then. I lost you for a moment there. To be honest, I wish I hadn't even gone there, to be honest, because, well, when I jumped up and down just then, something happened that was a bit awkward in a live TV show. Well, to be honest, my cock came out through the hole in the front of my pants when I did that. I feel uncomfortable. I can't really continue while I'm pointing at you, is the honest truth. I'm going to have to adjust it, because it's, I can't... Excuse me, I'll just do that. It's done, it's fine. It won't happen again. I'm very sorry. It won't happen again. You just stay there now, okay, old boy? Helen MacArthur, B&Q, the bosses of B&Q, they must have just sighed with relief when that thing reappeared over the horizon. They must have, oh my God, it actually floated. Jesus Christ. It is. You ever shop at a B&Q? Isn't it great? They're a great store, aren't they? Oh, I love that shop. We're obsessed with DIY in this country. You know what? I read this recently. The most popular form of home improvement in the UK is, do you know what it is? I tell you, it's the front porch. We love a front porch. Never really got it with a front porch. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a front door in front of my front door. That way I can go out and still be inside. Yes, this is worked very well. I've got a front door there and a front door there. It's a bit like being dead. I think I might do it out of the back, put a back door out the back of my back door. Then I can clad the house, put brick effects all over the brickwork, and then get it double glazed, have one window just behind the other. If things go according to plan, I'll end up with two houses, one just inside the other. Then I can sell the outside house and not tell them that they can't come into the inside house. I actually think that's probably what's happening when you see someone standing in a front porch. They've just bought the house, realise they can't go any further. I screwed up. B&Q is a great shop though, isn't it? You go in there, they specialize. They have these 17.5-acre stores. They seem to specialize in having everything except the one thing you went there for. You go, there's no one to ask because they don't employ anyone between the age of 16 and 78. So there's no one there with a full mental capacity anyway. And even if you do make an inquiry, they always say the same thing, I'll go and ask. You know what, when you've heard those words at a B&Q, just leave, get out, keep your dignity, find the exit, go. Because what is the best going to happen? You're going to watch him disappear to the end of the aisle? Disappear through the plastic flappy things at the end? What do you honestly imagine is beyond the plastic flappy things at the end? Is there some Oracle computer banks full of information about DIY? No, the truth is, once he's gone through the plastic flappy things, he's outside. You're left in the aisle, just standing there like this. You know what he's doing? He's on the other side of the plastic flappy things, doing this. Waiting for an appropriate amount of time to pass. Before he'll come back and tell you, no, sorry, we haven't got them. We used to have them. That's a great piece of information in a shop, isn't it? You used to have them. Oh, problem solved. All I have to do is travel back in time. Do you have a time machine? I'll go and ask. No, don't go and ask. Let's please just buy this one. No, it's a display. It's not for sale. Well, you know, isn't that how a shop works? You sell what's on display. Otherwise, it's not really a shop, is it? It's a house. I could order one for you. It'll take 3 weeks. Oh, great, good. In the meantime, I'll just keep shitting in the sink, shall I? You ever bought your paint from them, gone to the paint mixing desk at B&Q? Oh, now there's an exact science. The paint mixing desk. These guys are NASA trained, they have to be, aren't they? I'm amazed they have any paint left to sell. There is so much paint splattered around the vicinity of the paint mixing desk. I don't know why they even bother with all that machinery they bought to shake the stuff up. All they need to do is give it to one of the old guys to hold for 10 minutes. Oh, they got a nice lot of trouble to get your paint just right for you there, don't they? Big tub of white paint, blob of red in it. You sure that's right? It looks very pink to me. Yeah, but it dries green. Let me ask you a question. Would this upset? Because it happened to me the other day and I was upset. You know, I went out and I came back. And what you do when you're out, usually that's part of the plan. Generally speaking, when you go out, you come back. Because if you don't, technically you've gone missing. So I go out, I come back. The postman has been left one of these little notes, you know, where they do that, where they tried to deliver a parcel and you weren't in, so now they're making a big song and dance about it. And you just, I don't care about the details of your job. Just either bring it back tomorrow or stick it on a skip, for Christ's sake. I don't really care. It can't be valuable or you'd have pilfered it. So I lose this little card with a number on. I find the number another way. It's a different thing. I rang up. I used to have an arrangement with parcels where if I was out, it would go to the neighbor's house, okay? And that didn't work out because I had to reciprocate and it all got embarrassing. He came round one time and I said, no, I haven't taken in a case of scotch. And he said, well, then how do you know it was a case of scotch? And it all just got embarrassing. And I've moved since because, you know, neighbors are a pain in the ass. I'm not against neighbors per se. I just don't want them living next door. Do you know what I mean? They come round, you've got to nip it in the bud, the whole borrowing, lending thing if you move to a new area. They come round, you got any sugar, you got a leg of lamb, can you pay my mortgage for it? It just goes on and on. Then they'll be round for really petty stuff that doesn't matter at all. They go, I wonder if you could check your garden shed, honey, my cat's gone. Before you carry on, Margaret, is there a reward? Oh, and I hadn't really thought. Yes, I suppose so. How much? I suppose about £25. No, he's not. Which is a shame, because I did hear a funny noise. Well, what kind of a noise? A sort of £50 noise. I've moved since then, but you got to check out when you go to a neighborhood. I always go there in the dark before you move in, because the place I moved from, there was a dog next door. It's like one of these really, thick dogs. You can tell from a dog's bark, can't you? This dog, there's nothing going on upstairs. All night long, somebody goes, completely out of control. His owners, these yobs, they call him Asbo. How's that for a name for a dog? You know, my God, you know. He can't help it. He's talking. It's his language. He's talking to other dogs. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's barking. Even if he is talking to the other dogs and that is his language, he is saying the same word again and again and again. Cats are even worse, though. You get a cat going at night. My God, that's even worse. It's quieter, but it still drives you nuts, wouldn't it? They start out going, meh. Meh, meh, meh. It just goes on and on and on. Meh, meh. In the end, it was driving me crazy. I had to let it out of the shed. So finally, no, if I digress, I get the number for the post office depot. I won't tell you how I got it, but it's a long story. I rang up the post office depot, and I speak to this guy, and I said I had the postcard. I explained, can I now arrange for the parcel to be redelivered? Do you know what he said to me? Do you know what he said? He goes, don't you mean delivered? I'm sorry, I beg your pardon. Don't you mean delivered? It can hardly be redelivered if it hasn't yet been delivered. Oh, I see. So very sorry I appear to have been put through to the philosophy department. Very sorry if I've wasted any of your valuable time, Professor. How I get the number, okay? I'm looking for everyone for the number. One of the people I try, directory inquiries, 118 118. Have you ever used these people? I don't know why they're in the business of giving out phone numbers. They don't have any phone numbers. Not only they did not have any phone numbers. If I worked there, I'd at least bring any yellow pages and pretend to be looking at the numbers. Oh, just a minute, I'll look it up on the computer. Not only do they not have the number, but they always finish the call with this. Is there anything else I can help you with? What do you mean, is there anything else you can help? You haven't helped me with anything yet. Don't move me on to anything else. It means there anything else you can help me with? You can come around and peel the spuds, you tosser. What are you talking about? First question, is it business or residential? Well, when I said post office depot, what picture did that paint in your mind? Was it a thatched cottage with roses around the door? Maybe a bungalow with a cat sunning himself on the front step? You've got to be tough on these guys because they're like number Nazis. If they don't have the number, they then try and convince you that the place doesn't even exist. They try and mesmerize you into thinking, no. I'm afraid there is no London Zoo. There is. I've been there. I've fed the animals. It exists. No. Could it be under any other name? Well, what name do you suggest for a zoo in London? Edinburgh Aquarium? No. And it's in Edinburgh, you say, oh, shut up! I'll tell you something, thank you. My mobile phone is driving me nuts. It's destroying my life. I've got my mobile fixed on this callback feature. You know, the callback where you ring someone, and if it's engaged, it just keeps dialing for you. I can't switch this feature off on my mobile because I can't, and that's why I can't, because my phone, well, if you must know, my phone is stuck in Greek now, which can happen. It's a new phone, and I was looking at what it could do, and I'm looking through, oh, that's good. Languages. That's good. Select. God, look at all those languages I've got. Greek. Greek. I wonder what my friends' names would look like in Greek. That might look pretty good. Select. Everything in Greek straight away. No warning, no second chance. Jack, you sure you want to do this? You want to sleep on it? Come back to me tomorrow. We'll still do it if you really want to. Everything is in Greek. I can't get it back into English because I can't read Greek. My best bet now is to take my mobile phone round the corner to one of the Greek restaurants, befriend the owner. Stavros, I've had an enjoyable evening. I wonder if I could talk to you for a couple of minutes about my mobile phone. Either that, or just take it back and explain, look, see what my kids have done to the phone. But you do that, you know, with the callback thing, you ring someone, it's engaged, so you think, screw them, you know? I'm never going to bother ringing them again. I think other people are busy talking to them, bollocks to them. I'm not going to fucking bother with them again. In fact, I'd eradicate their name if I could do it now! So you forget all about it. You forget all about it, you put the phone in your pocket, but your phone doesn't forget about it. Your phone takes it upon itself to keep dialing. You know, 20 minutes later, you're doing something completely different, completely forgotten about trying to ring this guy. Your phone rings. Well, there's only one thing I understand about a phone that is ringing. Someone is calling me. So you answer it, and it's like a conversation between two mental patients. Hello? Hello? Yes, please, who is that? Who is that? Oh, you tell me, you rang me. No, I never, you rang me. No, I never, you rang me. You know what? I don't want that from my phone. I don't want my phone making decisions for me, taking initiative. I don't want that. Before you know it, it'll be ringing people it thinks I should call up. Well, he hasn't spoken to his mother for a couple of weeks. Let's get her on the line now. I don't want my technology getting any cleverer for that matter. You know what? My television viewing has been ruined since the advent of interactive television. You get the red button on your remote, you do this, you press now, and you do it. You're in a fourth dimension. You're being made to make choices, decisions, vote on shit and stuff like that. I don't want to do that. All I want from my television viewing is to sit there in my underpants, occasionally scratching my ass. That's all I want. But I like it at Dixon's, but that's how I like to do things, you know? I've got interactive television, and it's go, press now, and I don't know, I obey the television. That's what's happening. Press now, okay. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm ordering samples of Lenore, and, you know, press now. I've just ordered a test drive in a Land Rover. I didn't mean to do that. I've got no intention of buying the Land Rover. Or you watch a film. You watch a film on interactive television. Oh, I was doing it the other. Happily watching this film. I was 20 minutes in. Then a little menu comes up. Press now for alternative ending. And I, without thinking, okay, I'll do it, you know. I was watching it was the Titanic. I was watching the Titanic. What a boring film that turned out to be. Welcome to New York, Captain, and in record time. That was the end! You know what, with technology, you know what, especially the telephone, once you've got a phone in your life, there's never any peace again, is there? Because you're accessible to the rest of the planet. Anyone can ring you anytime they want. You get cold calling in the evening when you get in from work. Doesn't that just, you know, you've done your work, you've done your chores, you've got the kids in bed, it's your little time in the evening. You sit down, relax, the phone rings, someone you never heard of before. Hello, can I interest you in cheap gas? Well, probably not. Besides, I have to say, it's quality I'm after when it comes to gas. I like the kind of gas that from time to time blows up a block of pensioners' flats. That way, I know it's working. Don't think I want your gas from some landfill site somewhere. But then it made me wonder though, because how do I know I'm getting the gas I'm paying for? There's only one pipe coming into the house. She says she can switch it over just like that. How do I know I'm getting the gas I'm paying for? For all I know, I could be getting the cheap gas, and next door could be heating up his Iceland nuggets on my premium gas. Meanwhile, I can't get the kettle to boil because I'm getting his fart gas through my stove. Every knob I turn. And then she hung up. Now I find that rude. They ring you up, you know, and you say no. They won't take no for an answer, these people. They're selling something. They're on a mission. Hello, can I interest you in cheap electricity? Nope. That's what gets me. You say no, and they carry on. It's just that with us, you could be saving up to 47p a month. Oh, bugger me, go on then. 47p a month, you say? I could retire. Thank God you rang. You're my best friend. Come round anytime. Same thing applies. I don't want it. I don't want your cheap electricity. I don't want your shoddy second-rate electricity you got from some wind farm. Hippie, ethical, woolly-hatted electricity that only heats up vegetarian food. I've got a 50-inch plasma to fire up. I want nuclear! Who are they? Just say no. It doesn't work, but try it anyway. Last one I had. Hello, can I interest you in cheap phone bills? No, thanks. Quite happy to pay through the nose. He just said, with our scheme, you should find after 4 months, the phone actually pays for itself. Is that a fact? And how actually does that work? Well, I'm writing out a check for the phone bill, and the phone goes, Jack, this one's on me. You know what? I don't want the cheap version of anything. I'm happy to pay the price. I don't want to do this. Everyone's at it. They're trying to sell you a bargain when you don't want it. Nurofen. Go into a chemist, ask for Nurofen. What do they say to you now? Would you like this instead? Is it ibuprofen? It's exactly the same because it's a third of the price. No, I don't want it. Don't want it. In its shabby white box with a kite mark on the side. Not interested. I want the stuff I've seen on television in the shiny box with the rifle targets on it. I want the stuff I've seen the guy taking on television because his head's hurting so much he has to get shot through the skull with a crossbow. And give me the extra strong as well. Give me Nurofen Plus. I don't know why Nurofen did that. Come out with Nurofen Plus. Everyone was happy with Nurofen. Did you hear anyone complain about Nurofen? Oh, if only it was a bit stronger. Everyone was happy with it. Now they come out with Nurofen Plus. Now there's a choice. Who's going to go back to original? You know what? You've got to have a pretty half-assed attitude to your headache. To walk into a chemist and go, hi, got a bit of a headache. I don't really care if it goes or not. Can you recommend anything for that? Give me the Wimps aspirin, I'll have some of that, that's fine. Give me what you'd take if you bang your head on some candy floss. Why give us a choice? I don't want that. My vacuum cleaner at home, you know, it's got a thing, you click on it like that, it's on half suction. What a great invention. I can do all the hoovering, it takes twice as long. Well done, Dyson, you genius. You know what? I was one of the first people in this country to get a Dyson. I was. My Dyson is actually now so old, it's had to be fitted with a bag. The other ones I want the full-strength painkillers. That's what I want. I don't want to mess around. I want the proper ones. I want painkillers that are so strong you hold them in your hand long enough, your arm starts to go numb. You take 3, you cure your neighbour's headache. Have you taken these before? Oh. What's it to you? Saturday girl. Is it for you? No! It's my mother's birthday. I thought I'd get her some decongestant. Can you wrap it? While I'm on the subject of chemists, what the heck are they doing backstage there with your prescription when they go out the back with it? What the hell are they up to? You hand in the prescription, you need 14 tablets. Mr. D, it'll take 20 minutes. 20 minutes? Mr. D, do take a seat, it'll take 20 minutes. Never sit down at the chemist, by the way. Never. That's the loser's seat in town, isn't it? Oh, once you've sat down on the hearing aid beige seat at the chemist, that's it. You're marked out as a loser. You're not there for a comb or toothpaste. The game's up. There's something wrong with your ass. You gotta... Mr. D, 20... How can it take 20 minutes? What the heck are they playing at? How can it take longer than counting to 14? You know what it is? I think he's trying to give the impression that he's making the medicine out the back. That's what he wants you to think, that he's some kind of alchemist and he's got bottles bubbling away, smoking, he's mixing it together. The very building blocks of life. Mr. D, 20 minutes. He's back there trying the stuff out. Mr. D, 20 minutes. Take 2 at bedtime. But for the love of God, lock yourself in, man. 20 bloody minute. Okay, he's got to print a little label to go on the bottle. On what is, by the way, the noisiest printer on earth, isn't it? Isn't it embarrassing when that thing starts up out the back? Give me some Eurofilm with that as well, would you please? It's embarrassing. They might as well be shouting around the shop, what's wrong with you? He's got diarrhea. I tell you what I saw the other day. This upset me, and I'm a pretty easygoing guy. You know what I saw? I saw an ambulance. Big sign on the back of the ambulance, on the back door. Do you know what it said? It said, this is an ambulance, not a taxi. This is an ambulance, not a taxi. I know, I can see, don't worry, I can tell. I know it's not a taxi. You know how I know it's not a taxi? Because last time I called a taxi, it didn't take 3/4 of a fucking hour to arrive. That's how I know. While I'm on the subject, can I just ask, is it really strictly necessary in this day and age to have the word ambulance written back to front on the bonnet of the ambulance?
No, so if you see it in the rearview mirror, it says that. I know why.
I know why. I'm just questioning it. See, my point is, if the blue flashing light and the big red cross hasn't done it for you, just a hunch, but I suspect the word ambulance is going to be lost on you as well. So I'd like to know if there had ever been anyone in the history of the automobile who was driving along, looks in their rearview mirror and goes, huh, what the heck's this? Who's this joker with his blue flashing light and big red cross behind me? Well, he's not getting past me. What does this say? Eculumbo? What does the hell that mean? Not getting out of his way. There's some pushy Danish furniture company behind me trying to get past me. You gotta watch it. You gotta. They're all at it. I saw a fire engine. Big sign on the back of the fire engine. You know what it said? It said, "Smoke alarms save lives." I thought, yeah, more like save you the bother of getting out of bed to put the fires out, you lazy bastards. You gotta watch it. AA vans. Well, Britain's 4th emergency service. You know, only in this country could coming forth be a boast. 4th, you say, my God, runner up to bronze. All the fun of taking part, none of the hassle of hanging around for a medal. Mountain Rescue, they're grumpy bastards, aren't they? So you helped me down from a hill. You have no right to criticize my footwear. I was wearing flip-flops that felt like a walk. Volunteer service, you see, Jack. Yeah, and don't you keep banging on about it. Listen, pal, you wanted to rescue people, I wanted rescuing. We both got what we wanted, so shut your face. Kendal mint cake. Kendal bloody mint cake. I was in Kendal on this tour I've been doing. As soon as I arrive in Kendal, everyone, have you had some Kendal mint cake? Do try it. Have some Kendal mint cake. Please, do try it. Let me get out of the car. Can I just first? Have some Kendal. I tried it. Have you tried Kendal mint? It's really very good, actually. Yes, it is. To the Kendal mint cake. If they could add just a little bit more sugar, it would be perfect, wouldn't it? What a contribution to survival that has been over the years. You go up a mountain, the mist rolls in, you're cold, lonely, tired, hungry, frightened, lost. Take a little nibble of your trusty Kendal mint cake. And slip into a diabetic coma. Anyway, I picked up the paper and I thought it would be interesting just to have a look. I'll just read some of these stories. You can always tell from a local paper, you can tell a lot about an area. And I'm going to just read a couple of the stories here, which I think it warrants it. This is the Fulham and Hammersmith Chronicle. Story on the front page. Crack house raid nets huge arsenal. That tells me a little bit about the area. Then I go on Then I go on to this bit, Shepherd's Bush. A 27-year-old woman had her bag stolen with £1,000 of cash in it. Now, what is wrong with that story? Because it would be £1,000 if you had your bag stolen. And how much money was in the bag when it was stolen? Ooh, I think £1,000, I think. No one in Shepherd's Bush has ever owned £1,000. This is nice. Ambulance crew deny stealing cash. What a lovely area this is. All right, you pump his chest, I'll go through his pockets. Rotating school building, a good move. A school building will be rotated to make it easier for students and staff to move between lessons. Well, there's always a simple solution. Firefighters attended a blaze last night when an ice cream van was deliberately set on fire by a gang of toddlers in the Peabody estate. This is the one. I'm going to take. This is the headline. I'm going to remember the error by this. Alcoholic commits arson in own flat. You know what? More often, though, it's the classifieds where you really get a sense of the beating heart of a community. This caught my eye immediately. For sale, double pine bed, includes mattress, some stains. And people selling their clothes in the paper. How does this happen? For sale, 12 pairs of men's trousers, size 36 waist. Genuine reason for selling. What could possibly be a genuine reason for selling all your trousers? Do you just wake up in the morning and think, you know what, I've had it with trousers, don't want them anymore, don't want them in my life. Get the paper on the phone, put an advert in, mention I'm genuine, tell them I'm genuine, will you? The best one I had, when I was in Reading. I've been collecting these everywhere. I was in Reading, and little thing in the back of the paper, and it said, fishing reel cover, fits most fishing reels, 50p, and then he put underneath, no time wasters. I would find it difficult to waste this guy's time any more efficiently than he is doing his own, frankly. On time wasters. That's Hammersmith. You leave it there for 5 minutes. Fucking gone. Look at that. Unbelievable. Now, you may have read in the press, there's been some press, you may have read that I used to have a drink problem, and it's not true. I actually still do. No, Alka-Pops really is what I would say about my drink problem. Alka-Pops really sums it up. Not the drink itself, that's the nickname that my kids have for me. You know what? I'm not one of these crazy people. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing with the boo. You know, the boo. I'm not one of these people who never knows how much he's drunk. And you know, I always know how much I drunk. So I throw it up. I can see it. It's quite plain. It's simple. But you meet these people who will blame anything but the booze on their upset stomach. You know, these people. Oh, for some reason, when I got in, I was as sick as a pig. It must have been something I ate. I bet it was that packet of crisps you had between pint 9 and 10. I find those cheese and onion, they churn my stomach as well. Now, when all is said and done, it's a serious subject, you know. And it is sad what people get up to when they've had too much to drink. I mean, I was in my local a few months back, and we'd all had enough to drink. This guy comes in, I knew him, he was tanked up, to be honest. And he had with him one of those strip lights, you know, that you get off kitchen ceilings. And he was trying to sell it. He was going, "Don't buy this off me. Don't buy it." You know, it was... And, well, I bought it. On the off chance it would fit somewhere at my house. I walked home with this thing. I was like Obi-Wan Kenobi. I get in, Put it on the kitchen floor, because everything goes on the floor when I'm drunk. I don't know why. I'll just put it on the floor. I can't reach the floor when I'm drunk, because I forget that should they need to, my knees will actually bend. Come here, little floor, you've gone too far for me. Come back, floor. Your hands go nuts, don't they? When you find, you know, we gesticulate with our hands when we're talking. It's only well, but when I've had too much to drink, I find my hands carry on after I've shut up. Oh, that is final. It's like it's been sneaking drinks behind my back. Everything is noisy, unbelievably noisy when I don't know why it is that you breathe differently when you're drunk. There's a certain kind of breathing that only the drunk does. At some point, he begins to sound like a scuba diver. It's an unmistakable drunk's breathing. Why would it be? Why? Do you have to breathe like that? Just because you're pissed? I could go on a 5-mile run and have less trouble breathing than when I'm drunk. I come indoors and get to bed. My legs are having a great time. They want to go out dancing. I want to go to bed. And you try the staircase. I can run up and down the stairs at home like some little cat, no noise at all. But when I come in drunk, the staircase is like some keyboard of betrayal. Every step I go on, a different noise. Right the way to the top. Yeah, it's almost it. Wrong house. We're so desperate to get away with it. Everything is noisy. It's even the duvet. When you finally make it to the bed, the duvet will let you down. You know, mustn't wake her up. Get go back, honestly. I'm fine. I need to take out 2 hours of sleep, I'll be fine. Then that time comes when you start to taste metal in your mouth. I think I got away with it. But you haven't. You've never got away with it. My wife always knows if I go. She always says in the morning, you had a little bit of drink last night, didn't you, before you came into bed? How did you know? How did I know? Well, you've still got your suit on, you drunken fat fuck. Early start before I go. See, I've done not drinking for periods of my life. You know, you go out with a bunch of people who are drinking, you're not drinking. Oh, God, then you become smug. People coming up to you all day, all night long. I've let you down. I've let you down. You know, the snot doing a little dance in front of them. I've let you down. No, you haven't. You've let yourself down. You become like David Attenborough on one of his programs who's discovered some new species somewhere. And now, the dominant male of the group is well bevied up. He has his friend in a headlock. The other males of the group are laughing like deranged gibbons at everything he says in order to signal that they get his jokes and that they are, above all, not gay. Do you read about the guy who got done for drinking petrol? This is not so long ago in the paper. This guy was drinking petrol. He got banned from the petrol station for drinking petrol from the, First of all, I love the fact they banned him. Isn't that great? That's really gonna work on this character, isn't it? I think you've kind of missed the point with this guy. I think you'll find he does what the fuck he likes. One of the clues is, he drinks petrol! But he's coming on. There was CCTV footage of him doing this. He was coming on, he'd get the nozzle and just go, and drink petrol. I thought, Jesus Christ, that's going to take more than a smint, isn't it? Imagine getting in with a belly load of that stuff. Have you been drinking? Alcoholic commits arson in own flat. Speaking of which, I'm more than certain that the petrol cap on my car, from time to time, swaps sides. I think what it is doing is watching as I pull into the forecourt to see which side of the pump I'm going to stop. And when I do stop, it goes, right, move now. The car's always on the wrong side. I never get it right. I can never remember. Oh, bloody hell. Do I repark the car? Of course not. Far too simple. Besides, someone might be watching. The shame of it. Petrol cap shame. I try to make the pump stretch all the way around the car. All the way around, I'm scratching paint off the end. End up filling it from 3 feet. Which is how I got banned. Another thing you can do this at various petrol stations now. You can donate all your air miles to your favorite charity. And I've done this recently. It's a great thing. You can do it as well. I've done this. Quite what the abused donkey is going to do with a fortnight shopping in Milan, I don't know. But, it's a donkey sanctuary. I support the donkey sanctuary. It's a great cause. They can go there for a day off and, have a massage, facial, get their legs waxed. Talk donkey business. No, actually, before a show, you know what I always do? I always ring home before the show. And it's a thing I'm in the habit of doing. I've been away from home a lot this year, touring around. Been a little bit homesick, to be honest. I really miss dropping my children off at school in the morning, and I haven't done that since January, so that's 2 whole terms I've missed, which I feel bad about. I rang before the show, like I do, and I got 4 children. I've got 2 daughters, one's 13, the other's 10. And 2 twins. One's 7. Well, they're both 7, in fact. They have to remain the same age. They're very strict about that in the twin club. I ring up, and one of my sons answers the phone, and straight away he tells me he's got toothache. Right, so I feel a pang of guilt because I'm not there, to soothe him. I feel bad, really, because I was the one who took him to the dentist when he was 2.5, the first time he ever went. And to be honest, it didn't go well. He's not been back since. And, no one likes a trip to the dentist, do they? I go, look, my dentist he likes to scare people. I press the front doorbell, goes, it's not a good start. And so we're there in the waiting room, we're waiting, and we can hear the dentist in his surgery going, do you know what? I don't even think he's got anyone in there with him. I think he's behind the door, just going, it's going to be very painful for you in a minute. Sorry, I don't know why. He's not German. Don't know why I said that. I'm very sorry. He's not German. Do I take that back? We'll edit that out. He's English. I'm sorry. Anyway, we finally get in. My son looks around, flatly refuses to get into the dentist chair. So, of course, I think, I've got to lead by example now. I've got to be a role model. So I said to him, look, how about if I sit in the dentist chair first, and then you'll see there's nothing to worry about, all right? He agrees to this. And I said, then you'll do it, won't you? Yeah, okay. So I, wink, wink at the dentist. This is not a fucking appointment, pal. Dentist is looking at my teeth. He's, he puts the bib on me, the sunglasses at the dentist. At your dentist? What is that? That's a great little trick. That one is. What are they? You made to think you're at the beach or something? Well, you're sunbathing. Oh, relax. Look, the sun is out. There are 4 of them, but they're out. Oh, you clever man. I forgot I had a Black & Decker in my mouth for a minute there. It's incredible what you did. You tricked me with the sunglasses. Anyway, he's looking at my teeth. And then he goes, oh, actually, there is something I can do for you here, Mr. D. And without any warning, gets the drill. Straight in. They always do a couple like that just before they do it. They know it bloody works. They're trying to shit you up. That's what's going on. Start drilling, goes straight into a root canal up here. I'm feeling the kind of pain that I didn't know could exist. I'm just trying to diffuse the pain through the arms of the chair. I'm just going, blood coming off the ceiling. My son runs out into reception. It's a total disaster. I didn't get a bravery sticker. The whole thing has gone wrong. Well, who likes to go to the dentist? You wouldn't. It's, from the moment you get there, they put that little vacuum cleaner in your mouth and, oh, God, they stick that thing in your mouth. It sucks all the saliva out. It always reminds me of my first girlfriend. And I'm always anxious they're going to flick it onto blow by mistake. I'm going to end up with a mouthful of the previous guy's phlegm. I'll be there like some human volcano in my foster grants full of slums. Bits of tooth I'm spitting out all day. It's not mine! I never wore a brace! It is an odd thing, though, at the dentist, how you look forward to the pink drink. Once you're there, having this stuff done, you begin to think, see that pink drink? That's mine. At the end of all this, I get the pink drink. It's going to be worthwhile. That little plastic cup with the pink drink in, it's mine. You look forward to the pink drink. He's doing what he wants. He's tinkering around with his little craft set inside your mouth. Doing what he wants, injecting the injection, how unnatural is that? An injection in the mouth. Oh, it'll just feel like a little scratch. So what do you say? It'll just feel like a little scratch. And then after about 10 minutes, it'll feel like you've had a stroke. I'm lying there, my upper body is going numb. And I'm thinking, in a minute, I got a pink drink. You find yourself looking forward to those words you can swell. Oh, thank you very much. I actually think that is the dentist's secret pleasure, to see you in that state. Look at you, you dribbling baby. You have no idea how much I hate humans. I went to the dentist once in Australia, and never again. Far too far, not convenient. And they didn't have the pink drink there. They had the blue drink. I'm sorry, that doesn't do it for me at all. I'm not having that. For me, the blue drink is what the barbers keep the combs in. I'm not drinking that stuff. I kind of smell a Brill cream about it. I'm pulling hairs out my mouth. I go, I've got a hair in my mouth. You make a fuss when you got a hair in your mouth, don't you? Oh, it's such an insignificant thing. I've got a hair in my mouth. You have to stop whatever you're doing if you get a hair in your mouth. Well. My mouth, I'm gonna die. I can understand that much fuss if it was a tennis ball. I can see, bad luck. People say it gets harder with your kids as they go, oh, you wait till they're older and then you get... I actually found it really hard when they were very small. I always imagined it surely must get easier once they're at nursery school. Once they're at nursery school, surely then the burden of parenthood is being shared. I found this not to be the case, let me tell you this. But once you have a nursery school in your life, it's like having another child you have to keep happy. Such are the requests of the nursery school teacher upon the parent. Every day your kid's coming home with his little notes.
Can he have this? Can he have that? Can you get him one of these? Can you collect these for him? Can you make him one of these? Can you buy him one of them?
Every day, can little Johnny come dressed as a bumblebee? You feel like, can you just fucking grow up and teach them something? What do they honestly imagine? That we've got a wardrobe department in the house? Bumblebee, you say? Shouldn't be a problem. Let me find those insect outfits. Let's see. Aphid, butterfly, bumblebee. Here you go. You put that on in the morning. Huh. They think it's an innocent, fun, educational thing to request. What these teachers don't realize is the havoc they reap on households when they make a request like that. What they don't understand is that little Johnny is in bed, fully expecting to be able to fly to school tomorrow. And we're not that organised. We always look at these notes last thing at night. Go, oh my God, they've got to go as a bee tomorrow. What are we going to do? And you panic. You've got to improvise. So you think it through. There you are in the morning. You found some tatty old yellow T-shirt in the hall. Yeah, I'll put that on. There you go. Get some black gaffer tape. There. What do you say? I don't feel like a bee. Well, maybe if I release your arms, would you like that? You finally get him off to school. You get to the school gate, there's about 50 kids outside, all dressed as bumblebees, all in the tatty yellow shirt with a black gaffer tape all around them, all standing there. None of them have got a clue why. We're all just looking at each other. You're a bee as well, what the hell's going on? I don't know, my mum just put me in there, she didn't say anything. Is this permanent or a one-off? I don't know. I hope not, I prefer the uniform. Me too. All of them there in their little tatty yellow T-shirt with a black gaffer tape around it. Except though, there is always one though, isn't there? There's always one, every school has one. There's always one who's gone the whole hog. You know what? Oh yes, Wonder Mum's done it again. There's little Jemima, she's got fully functioning wings. Antennae, her face is painted. She's producing honey. She's actually hovering 4 inches off the ground. It's a miracle what's happened. That's little Jemima, she made it herself. She's very, did she? Fuck. British Aerospace written on the back, for Christ's sake. What are you talking about, made it herself? Yeah, always these last-minute requests that we couldn't get. You know, oh my God, they got to go. There's a milk bottle tomorrow. It's been washed and emptied out. When are we going to get one of those tonight? I don't have one in the fridge. The shops are shut. The milkman doesn't come to my house anymore because he doesn't. I'm not going to go into that now, but it's court case pending and I will win. I have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, take next door's milk. It's never convenient, you know what I mean? And the thing I never bargained for with the kids is that they get sent home with homework from what? The age of 3 now, is it? Yeah, don't they? What a total waste of time. What these teachers don't understand about children of that age group is that you can divide them into 2 categories. There's the first kind of child who will look at a piece of paper with a sum on it and think, 3 add 3 equals 6. Then there's the other kind of child who eats the paper. Where's your homework? Oh, look it. In fact, the only thing kids use homework for is just a ploy to stay up later when it's bedtime. They deliberately don't tell you, don't they? They keep it back. They don't tell you they've got homework. They hold it back. They're playing their cards close to their chest. They're waiting for that moment. Come on, you've seen your program. Turn the television off. Up to bed. I still have homework to do. I think that trumps you, sir. So they've got homework, and you have to do the homework with them because they can't concentrate for more than 2 minutes at that age. You've got to sit with them, actually keep them there at the table. If you don't, you go back after 2 minutes, they'll be out in the garden swinging on something. You go, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? You're meant to be doing... Oh, sorry, I felt like having a swing on something instead. So you have to stand over them while they're doing it. They have to do this... Oh, my kids have this spelling thing. They have to copy out the spelling every night. I don't know if it's humanly possible to move your hand across paper any slower than they're doing at that stage in their writing career. But what I am saying is I find it fucking agonizing watching. 4 minutes later, I've done it, that's good, that's the first letter done, well done. Jesus Christ! I got to the point with the homework that I couldn't watch it being done anymore. I had had enough of this, you know? And I was tucking them all in. I'd done it with 3 others, the other 3 kids, and then this last one, you go, I haven't done my homework. And I couldn't face it anymore. I snapped, you know? I said, well, you know what? Leave it. I imagine if you do leave it, that something will have happened by the morning. And I did. I went downstairs, got my pencil out, and I did it myself. I did the homework myself. I did it with my left hand, so it looked like proper crap writing. Real method job. I had my tongue sticking out. Halfway through, I went out in the garden, have a swing on something. Came back in, had a glass of milk and a biscuit, got on with the rest of it. And I did it myself, whizzed it off. Don't do it yourself, please. This is my story. Don't do it yourself, because if you do, you get hooked. You get hooked on doing it. You can't go back to watching it being done. You have to do it yourself, and you start to look forward to it. You look forward to the homework. It's like a little quiz every day. Yes, you know the answer to a couple of these ones. It got so bad, I was doing it night after night, his spelling list. But the trouble is, I can't spell. I really can't spell. Hopeless. I mean, in fact, after 4 weeks, we got called into the school. Very sorry to say that your son is educationally subnormal. Take a look at his spelling, I think it says it all. So what can I say? I can't say it was me. I couldn't admit it's a bit me. So, well, he's in a home now. So Or you get the musical instrument thing. This is our kids came home with this thing. Can they learn an instrument? Little theme thing, little note coming with the Play for Pleasure. It was called this scheme. Did you have Play for Pleasure? Let them play for pleasure. No, let them watch telly for pleasure. Like we do, like they will when they give up playing the instrument. We've now had to go out and buy them. You ever listen to someone learning an instrument from scratch? It's a form of torture. It is a form of torture. The violin is the worst offender without any doubt. The violin has been registered with Amnesty International in several countries. It now comes with a health warning, the violin. Warning could cause you to be slapped around the head. And I know what I'm talking about, because for 3 months, my household woke up to the strains of 3 months. Credit where it's due, 6:45 in the morning, every single morning, for 3 months. In the end, Jane, my wife, had to come downstairs and say, Jack, give this up, you're not getting any better at it, pal. I tried, I wanted to play, this is what I wanted to play the violin. To be honest, I've always been desperate to find a hobby, something that totally engaged me, something I can do in my spare time, like Sherlock Holmes, I could play the violin, I thought, and I try everything. Anything I will try my hand at. The pattern is, I'll get interested in something, get really enthusiastic, buy all the gear, and then go off it, I go, I got the wetsuit, I don't want to go anymore. If I want to breathe like that, I'll just get pissed again. And I'm a real sucker for these adverts. Around New Year, they have those adverts where they, week by week, build up this exquisite collection of World War II fighter planes. And there's a little bit of me in the back of my head that goes, yes, I will. Did you see the one with the vintage fob watch? This year, they had, for the vintage, week by week, build up this exquisite collection of vintage fob watch, $2.99. Your collection everywhere with all these hand engraved $2.99. Evoke the memories of bygone years with these $2.99. Oh, sir, this vintage fob watch is most exquisite. You're very fortunate indeed to have such a fine example. I've not seen such a fine example outside of Geneva in many years. If I were you, I would not insure it for a penny less than $2.99. Again, sellotape to a comic, you twat. Those tossers on Antiques Roadshow. You ever watch that? They come in with their piece of tat. The fixed face they've got, they just go. They can't change the expression on their face because they know the cameras are on them, so they stay with it. They're fully expecting to be cashed up. That's what they're there for. They go, handing it over. Do you know anything about?
Well, my great-great-grandfather was a merchant seaman, and he travelled all around the world, and this is one of the things he came back.
And they're listening to this boffin going on about it. Well, this is a very nice example. And I must say, in the 17th century, there were only 2 or 3 people making them. And I don't give a fuck who made it, my friend. I don't care if Fu Manchu made it with his fate. How much is it worth? Well, by now, you'd probably like to know how much it's worth. And remember, they can't change the expression on their face because the cameras are on them. Well, this is a very nice one. They're very collectible at the moment, very popular. I should imagine in auction this could reach anywhere between 20 and 25 pounds. They've booked a cruise on this thing. They can't change their expression. Really? Thank you very much. Of course, I'd never dream of selling it. What would be the fucking point? I go for any hobby. I try most things, to be honest. I will. Well, no. I'll qualify this. Not the dangerous stuff. I don't understand why people get off on doing dangerous stuff at the weekend, risking their lives. What would you find fun about? I don't, go off into the South Downs, go hang gliding, or, oh, no, I like to do that. I strap myself into a deck chair, and I've got this duvet cover apparatus behind me, and off I go down the hill towards the pylons. Not for me. Don't, any hobby that involves getting yourself into a body bag first, just for me, leaves me cold. In fact, I would say any form of amateur flying per se, not a good... Gliding, no, don't go gliding. Why even get into an aeroplane that you know doesn't work? What is the big attraction with gliding? What, you save all that time on the pre-flight checks? Propeller? No. Engine? No. Reckless idiot with a death wish? Yes. Chucks away. Any form of amateur flying. I never want to go anywhere where aeroplanes go unless I'm in one, a proper one, a real one. With a pilot. Ballooning. Oh, ballooning. Why entrust your life to wicker? A material that we know has never had to cope with a weight any greater than that of a Scotch egg in a flask. Suddenly the plan is to stand on some and be lifted 14,000 feet into the air. And a little Calagas stove carrier bag thing going above you. What could possibly go wrong? Well, maybe I'm old-fashioned, maybe I don't know. Maybe, wicker is the new titanium, and they're all excited down at Volvo. They're making their new, the new Vicar Volvo is very terrific. We're most pleased with it. It's really terrific. It's very strong, a bit creaky, but very strong. Safari ballooning, that's the ultimate nightmare, isn't it? The safari ballooning, drift, out of control, over Africa. In a laundry basket. Look, lions. See the lions? And the lions are going, look, a hamper. Stuff, don't do that. I don't want, you know what, with a hobby, I want a second chance if it goes wrong. I want another go at it. It's just, bungee jumping. People swear, oh, it's a right laugh, bungee jumping. You throw yourself off a bridge with this elastic thing around your ankle. It's a right laugh. I bet it is. I expect it is. Right up until the point where it goes wrong. That's my beef with bungee jumping. If it goes wrong, there's no grey area. Just a big red one. That's what I want. I want a second chance with my hobbies. That's really why I like jigsaw puzzles so much. The great thing about jigsaw, what's the worst can happen? You spend 3 days on it. Oh, boo-hoo-hoo, a piece is missing. The picture will never be complete. But the difference is, I've lived to tell the tale. In an ideal world, I would have counted the pieces beforehand, realized there are only 39 bits, so why even begin? Try to keep fit, it's a kind of pastime. Obviously, you go to the gym, you don't maintain a physique like this without sacrifice. Actually, I'm why there's this thing in the papers now that men of a certain age, if they let themselves go, they drink too much, eat too much, that they're beginning to develop breasts. Yeah, you like that, do you? Always women who laugh at that. Yeah, funny. You wouldn't like it if you grew bollocks, would you? So. Think about that next hen night you're on. Oh, I've had a lovely time. Oh no, I've got bollocks. And what is it? It's the estrogen in our water supply. There is so much female hormone in the water now. In fact, where I live, the water won't even come out of the tap until you say it looks great. Oh, yeah. There are rivers that can no longer find their own way to the sea. Get out of here. A couple of men booing down here. I don't believe this you're saying. There's a man booing down here. I think you can guarantee he's on a date. That's what he's on. He's on a date, and it's what I call a blowjob boo, that is. He's sitting there. He's sitting there, oh, boo, boo the sexism. Oh, dear. I'm sorry you had to hear that. What a pity. Boo, boo the sexism. I'm very into equality in relationships. I don't know if I mentioned that. Dearie me. Oh dear. So you're going to suck my cock later for the time? Yeah, I go to the gym. The trouble with the gym is I can't be there for more than about 10 minutes before the guy who works at the gym approaches me, wants to take me on, show you how to get a bit more out of the equipment, because he's the trainer, isn't he? He's the trainer. I know he's the trainer because it says trainer on the back of his shirt and on both his shoes. And he has a sports science degree, which is like the 8th modern wonder of the world, isn't it? What? A sports science degree? What is exactly the sports science? Is it a sports degree? Or is it a science degree? Or is it, as I somewhat suspect, just PE? Of course you're fit, my friend. You're half my age. You live in a gymnasium. There'd be something wrong if you weren't fit. You've been working out so much, you've got arms like an orangutan, for Christ's sake. Look at you. I'm surprised I haven't put a tractor tire for you to swing in when you're bored. Now, fuck off. I don't like the implied ageism, you know. I don't know if you know this about me. I'm a very keen campaigner for old people's rights. Because recently what happened was someone was campaigning to have old people banned from driving as soon as they reach the age of 75. And I was against this, you know. Oh, because they cause all the accident. No, they don't. Of course they don't. They're only driving at 30 miles an hour. How can they possibly cause all the accidents? They're only driving. Personally, I think they should be made to sit on cushions. Because the way I see it, that's how the accidents are caused. You're driving along, you overtake the car because it's only going at 30 miles an hour. You look inside as you're going past, there's no one driving it. He drives on, you plow into a tree. Besides, if you ban them from driving, they only leave the cars and get onto those electric scooters you see them on. Then they're on the pavement. It's even worse. Down the precinct, 25 miles. I was nearly killed by one the other day. Get out of my way! Little wrinkly guy, get out of my way! Driving around. I'm pretty sure that must be what Daleks look like without the hood on. Good time to be old as well, because you can have kids right up into your old age. You can do that, and that's the thing. Des O'Connor did it, 71 years old, has a kid. Everyone was up for it. Oh, good old Des, well done. Still got lead in his pencil, any old cheeky old go, any old Des. Go for Des. He had a baby. Then, this old lady has a baby, 70 years old, was from Bolivia or somewhere. You remember this? She had a baby. Thanks to medical advances, she has a baby. How the tide changed then. Everyone changed their story then. Everyone opens a paper, looks at the story and goes... Everyone's outraged. The backlash began. And said, oh, it's a disgrace. You shouldn't have babies so late on in life. And the gist of the argument against this, having a kid so late in life, is that you shouldn't do it because if you do, there is a significant chance that you won't live to see your children through their teen years. And your point is? I'm sorry. This seems to suit everyone as far as I can see. Seems to me most kids get to an age they want their parents to drop dead, they'll get their wish. Although it's not fair on kids having such old parents. They'd learn to work it to their advantage. Of course they would. You know what kids are like. Get you tidied your room. Well, why don't you go up and have a look? It would work for the parents as well, because the teenagers wouldn't want to borrow the car so much, because who wants to go around in a three-wheeler that smells of Germaline? You'd get a certain amount of role reversal taking place. That's what would happen. Son, I wonder if you could come and pick me up. Well, where are you? On the bathroom floor. Have your kids later on in life. It's a great idea. Better than when you, face it, better than having them when you're too young. You're teenage parents. You see this, in papers and documentaries and stuff. It breaks your heart. These kids are 14 years old and they've got kids of their own already. It's pathetic. And they're so naive. They've made that one mistake. You think, oh, God, you've ruined your life. And there they are. They say, we'll cope. We love each other. We'll cope. What do you mean you'll cope? What do you mean you'll cope? How can you possibly cope? You still have a bedtime. How can you possibly cope? You can't even all go into the newsagents together. It's a tragedy. And then you see them, they're walking around shopping centres and stuff with a little buggy. They've got no prospects, no jobs. They're rowing, having a horrible time. You shouldn't be like that until you've been married several years. And besides, the row is something you have to work at in a relationship. You have to work at the row. An experienced couple can actually row about things that haven't even happened. The hypothetical row is just kind of, no, I'm just saying. We won the lottery! Then £500 is too much to give to your cousin! You said it was the rollover, it was £17 million! What do you mean? Winning the lottery's really changed you. We haven't won the fucking lottery! They're the worst rows to be in. They're the worst rows. The hypothetical ones, the ones you've got to learn to shut your mouth. Because they're giving bits of information about yourself you just didn't need to give away. You could have kept quiet. You're having a conversation about living on the moon or something. And then you come out with that little bit of snippet of information you just didn't. You always know the minute you said it as well, don't you? You think, of course, if we lived on the moon, we could never come back to Earth to have Christmas with your parents again because, oh, bollocks. Isn't it? That's why you want to live on the moon, and then to get away from my parents. I have to do it very bad. Learn to keep your mouth shut. It's a great spectator sport, though, isn't it? The row. You're out shopping, you see another couple having a row. It's great. It's like sit your day off or something, isn't it? Yeah. They're having a row. I always feel the need to get a little bit closer, find out what it's about. It's about electric kettles. They can't choose. Worst row I had. The row I had recently was with my wife, not so very long ago, about something the kids had asked for. I couldn't believe this. They wanted a DVD fitted in the car. The little screens in the headrest and everything. I was against this. I said, no, why should they have that? That's spoiling them. My God, why can't they do what we did when we were kids in the car on long journeys? We looked out the window, didn't we? We were happy. Threw up all over ourselves. Turned up on holiday wearing nothing but our mum's jumper. We were happy. But she went behind my back and she fitted it anyway, the DVD, and I was pretty upset. I got my own back because I've recorded a 3-hour film at the back of my head. It's been lovely of you to humour me in this way, and I won't bullshit you now. We know each other well enough. Basically what's going to happen, I'm going to walk off there and come straight back on. It's called an encore, and thank you, you've been great. Cheers. Thank you very much. Oh, what a great... Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, how you doing up there? You okay up in the... Oh, you're great. Thank you so much. What a lovely surprise. I was in my dressing room. The manager said, Jack, I think you're going to have to help me out here. They're not going to leave. You do some more for them. Okay. Yeah, I really appreciate that so much. You don't know what it means to me. Thank you very much. I appreciate applause. I can never milk the applause behind the curtain. You know, these people who do that. They'll keep you clapping for 10, 15 minutes. I've worked with people like that. I don't know how they do it. They stand behind the curtain and they just go, oh. And it's kind of an abuse, right? Because they're kind of getting off on it. They go, oh. I would never do that to an audience. And besides, the times I've been disappointed, I come back out, I thought they're still clapping. It was all the seats going up I could hear. That was, Yeah, rock concerts are the worst ones for the encore. And they'll keep you clapping for 15 minutes when you're out there. You're flagged anyway. You've been standing all evening. Oh, do come back. Please come back and play the 3 hits we actually fucking remember from your repertoire. But listen, I've got my phone here, and we've had some texts coming in, I've been told, so thank you for those, and I'm just going to read from the top. If yours isn't read out, don't worry, it's just that it was rubbish. So let's go from the very top. We've got your number, Stumpy. Does Snow White know about your other job? Jack, this gig must seem easy work to you after taking that ring all the way to Mordor. I'm getting the gist of this now, yeah. Jack, I live on Peabody, work in B&Q and come from Birmingham. See you outside after. Jack, have you ever laughed so hard a little bit of wee has come out? No, I haven't. Although I did once shit myself coughing at a funeral. If that counts, I don't know. Irishman goes for a job at a blacksmith's. Have you any experience at shoeing horses? No, says the Irishman, but I once told a donkey to fuck off. Jack, did you hear about the dyslexic pimp? He bought a warehouse. If your phone is in Greek, how the hell can you read this? Hello, Jack. How much does a Cockney spend on shampoo? £10. It's my birthday. Sing happy birthday to me, please, Jack. Thank you, Rachel. Where are you, Rachel? Yeah? You want me to sing happy birthday? You must be kidding. How old are you? You don't have to clap, just wave your asbo. I can see you. She's doing this to me. You're right. Not too much, you're sweating badly. What did you want to say? What did you want to say? Did anyone hear what she said? Your name is Charlie. You're smoking, Charlie. Yeah. Oh, God. The other one's waving as well now. So, all right, yes. What do you want? Semaphore now. Hopefully that's that. People like that, you can never tell, really. Yeah, you know, for them it's a night out. For the carers, it's a night off. Jack, you have half suction on a vacuum cleaner for fabrics such as curtains and soft furnishings. What do you call a man with no shins? Tony. Jack, I've been banned from B&Q for life when one of their assistants asked me if I wanted decking and I broke his nose. What key opens every lock? A pie key. My 4-year-old son requires a suit for a wedding. I've been struggling to find one. Where did you get yours? Ibuprofen is just as good as Nurofen and 50p cheaper. And us pharmacists do 5 years training, so fuck you. What do you call a Frenchman in a Ferrari? Doesn't matter because we've got the Olympics and they haven't. The blue whale ejaculates over 40 gallons of sperm when mating, but only 10% enters the female, and you wonder why the sea tastes so salty. Hi Jack, stand still, I can't get a clear shot. Carlos. Hello Jack, I had a wet dream about you last night. I dreamt you got hit by a bus and I pissed myself. Listen, you've been a great audience. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming. See you next time. Thank you. Good night.